when we shine our lights, that's why I'm such a huge fan of people being their gifts out and being in joy, because when we're in that space and our light is emanating out of us, which we all have, then we bring the party and we start to shine on each other.
Aloha. Welcome to another episode of Love What with Audrey Weilai, where I ask my friends and mentors what non-romantic love means to them. Today, I have my dear friend and also sister in songs, Priscilla Jaeger. Welcome, Priscilla.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am mainly working as a sound healer currently, and I also live in Tacoma, Washington. I love the world of marketing, and that's really how we met, was through the Brothers Corin and the world of marketing and helping out with the back end stuff that people typically don't enjoy is the stuff that I really love. I love diving into helping people. I mainly work with a lot of healers and wellness practitioners, light workers. I'm really on a mission to help healers heal the world. That is like my personal mission. And what that looks like for me is helping these magical humans that have so many gifts and are really here to change the world and create this heaven on earth, but they get stuck in not knowing how to do the marketing aspect and putting themselves out there, and fear of being seen and the visibility. And I'm really here to be a catalyst to help people get a little lift off in their own personal worlds and start to be in their dharma, do what they're here to do. And that's a huge passion of mine. So not only am I kind of in this field myself, I started about 9 years ago teaching aerial yoga, and it just since has kind of morphed into helping people with designing their websites and learning how to make flyers and their business cards and like how to do all those back end things that seem very daunting and just make it easy and make it fun.
What do you love about marketing? Because some people, they hear marketing and they'll, ew, and I don't want to be bombarded with more information that wants something out of me. What's your perspective?
It's my wish that people can reframe their story with marketing. Marketing can be used for the greater good, and it can be used for bad. It's your choice. It's a tool, just like anything, right? So it's like, I give you a hammer. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to build something, or are you going to smash things to pieces? For me, that's marketing is just a tool to put yourself out there. And if you really believe in what you do and you know that you have a service or a product or something that can be helpful to another human being, then learn how to become friends with marketing, because
Yes.
it is what's going to put you out there. It's going to be how you can give your gifts and create a better world and create the change that you wish to change. And the only way you can really do that is if you tell people what you're doing. You can't
Yes.
like not say anything and expect people to be like knocking on your door and saying, "Hey, I want a Reiki session." No, you got to put yourself out there. And also that is the medicine as well, because so many of us with these beautiful gifts, we're so afraid to be seen. That's the number one thing with anybody I work with. There's this huge fear of being seen. I light up so much when I teach people how to, like, on your website, great, you want to put a picture of something flowery in the background. And I always challenge people, put a picture of you
Yes.
looking at the camera. Like when people arrive at your website, have them feel welcomed. It's a home. It's a landing page for people to learn about you and your services. You're putting yourself on display of, here's what I can offer to the world. And that can feel so scary. But if you look at it like you're displaying a beautiful charcuterie board, here's a little nibble of what I can give you here. And you might like this and you might like that. Maybe you don't. That's okay. But this is what I'm here to offer. You get to bring your beauty into the world. I know that people, especially with social media, I hear it all the time, and it kind of breaks my heart just a little bit each time somebody says like, "Oh, I hate social media," or "I hate marketing," and I hate sales, and it makes people like cringe. It makes them contract. And the invitation I have to you, if that's your story, is feel into that contraction. What is that really? Is it
Mm.
really your protector coming in saying, "I'm not really ready to be seen," or "I'm
Yeah.
scared," or "What if someone judges me?" There's really a covert protector that's showing up. And if you can peel back those layers and open, and maybe even with your body physically, like, I'm going to open myself to feel into what it is that has me cringing at the thought of marketing? And how can you make it pleasurable and joyful and fun for you? And how can you get to know yourself just a little bit deeper? Like, I look at the world of entrepreneurship and marketing in general as like an opportunity to go really deep in knowing yourself. And I'm really like a personal development junkie. So I light up
Yes.
that. Maybe some people are like, I'm terrified to get to know myself. And again, that's your medicine. You get to go into a path of self-discovery. And if you don't want to get to know yourself or what you offer, then this isn't the world for you, and that's okay. Not everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. My
Yes.
husband, for example, he's like, no, I can never do it.
No.
Great, wonderful. We need the both and. But if you're interested in putting yourself out there and you know that you have gifts and you know you're here as a way shower, and I think there's a huge waking up in people right now, if you know that you're here to provide your gifts and to be of service, then yeah, really find a mentor, find a coach, find somebody that can help support you and just hold your hand along the way and move past those uncomfortable spaces. Because if you have something to be of service, it is your mission to let people know what you're here to offer and have fun with it. Make your
Yes.
Instagram beautiful. Like, get into what your vibe is and be your vibe. Don't go copy someone else because they're viral. Get out of the way of followers, get out of the way of numbers, and just show up as you. And that's all you need to do. And I think where social media and the world of marketing can feel icky for a lot of people is when we get too attached to looking at followers and to doom scrolling. I really teach people how to like set that stuff up in ways that feel good. And I encourage taking days away from technology altogether. It's just for your own mental sanity. So there's little tips and tricks on making it more easeful and more joyful.
Yes. I personally feel more comfortable on LinkedIn and kind of on YouTube now since I'm doing this podcast. This podcast came about when years ago I read Alain de Botton's book about love, and he essentially talked about non-romantic love. Then all those years I wanted to do something along that line because there's this whole side of love that we don't really talk about. YouTube channel could be a good platform and ask other people to share their wisdom. There was this heaviness and hesitation. So the animals told me and pushed me to get out of the way and just do the work. It's not about me. Then he was taking the course with the brothers Corin and I think McCusick that gave me that courage and confidence to voice this out.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So for LinkedIn, I feel more comfortable to share and connect with people. I struggle with Instagram because my limiting belief is it's more addictive for me to use it. So I've been staying away from that. Do you have tips?
Yes. First off, on your phone, whatever phone you have, try this little hack. I highly recommend all my clients that I work with. I walk them through Instagram. And for me, like knowing the platforms that you enjoy, like I love what you just said, YouTube, LinkedIn, those are your places. Great. Stick with that. Like take all the pressure of the world and society off of your shoulders that you have to be on every platform. No, but also, if you are wanting to be on every platform, my hack is using tools. So tools such as metricool.com or buffer.com or leader.com. You can set up Instagram and Facebook and link those. You can set up your YouTube. You can set up all your platforms, TikTok, whatever you want to be on. You can set it up to where all your accounts can have posts go and automated. So that way you don't actually have to be on the physical app and get lost doom scrolling. For me, Facebook is not my favorite place to be. I'm more of an Instagram girl, but I have my Facebook connected to Instagram. So when I post something to Instagram, it automatically goes to Facebook. And also setting up on your phone, just Google or YouTube, show me how to set up parameters for digital focus mode or digital well-being. You can search either of those terms. There's like an app on your phone and you can set in your settings like parameters. So for example, if you don't want to be bothered, like I have parameters on my phone that are set up from like 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. I want all of my apps to be grayed out and blocked out so I don't go and addictively find myself on my phone in those hours. I set boundaries with friends and family, like they respect them, which is even more amazing. But letting people know I'm probably not going to respond to you after 8 p.m. Also, you can set time limits. How long do you really want to be on Instagram? If you don't want to be on there longer than 5 or 10 minutes, maybe give yourself 15-minute windows. But you can set really concise parameters. Then your app will shut down on you after like 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then it's also such a cool way of you getting to check in with yourself of, whoa, okay. I've had it to where I've been sitting and writing on my phone captions and then my app shuts down on me and I'm like, all right, it wasn't meant to be for today. And then walk away. You don't have to do everything in the parameters of society. You get to reclaim your time, just like you reclaim your voice, right? So I really encourage people to go into their settings, look at where you're spending way too much time, and it could be on any app, right? For me, I love Metricool. That's what I use currently. I've done Buffer, but Metricool has been really fun for me to use. And I love that you can set up multiple platforms and I can just post specific things to that platform and have them automatically go out. And then it becomes fun because then you get on your phone. Oh, it's like a Christmas present. I made a post and you start to fall in love with what you've created. That's the more exciting thing to me is you really become more intentional about the content you're putting out. And also you start to get excited when you see that automation go out and it's like a fun thing to look forward to.
Would you suggest people to outsource some of these so they can focus on their more creative work?
If you're a solopreneur, if you're somebody just starting out, that probably isn't super possible for you. You know, a lot of moms out there are like, oh, I got my kids to help me with this. Great. Wonderful. You can pull from your pool of friends. I've been that friend for my friends where I'm like, dude, let's just get on Wix and make you a website. It takes 5 minutes to get started. And I am like a catalyst for people where it's like, let's just get started. And then they see it's actually not that scary and it's not that hard. Usually the hardest thing with any technology is coming up with a username and a password. And write your password down somewhere because you're going to probably forget it. And guess what? If you get somewhere and you're like, oh my God, I forgot my password, just click forgot password and you'll be okay. It's just like a little 5-minute uncomfortable moment you'll get through, but you'll just go check your email and you'll get your password. That's usually the greatest problem with any technology. The rest of it is easy. It's thinking about it that's hard. The rest of it is easy. Just get started, whatever it is that feels scary to you. There are so many beautiful things. So for example, I'm realizing I'm not really the person that's meant to be here to do for people. And I've been doing a lot for people. And the universe is screaming at me like, hey girl, you're not here to do all the things. You're here to teach. And so I am leaving behind a lot of the doing in the background for other companies that I'm working for. So I have found some virtual assistants for them and it's a new route and I love it. I'm so excited about it. So there's a company that we're going to give a try called Time Etc. And it's like $37 an hour for a real virtual assistant to come and help you. You can choose packages like 10 hours. You can add hours on as you go, but it's very doable. You get to interview your virtual assistants and ask them. You could say, hey, I'm not so great at emails and that's not my zone of genius. Would you be willing to take this on and then see if they're a good fit? Of course, there's a little training hump you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to teach them your voice, your brand, who you are, as you should do with any training. We live in the day and age of technology where we're so lucky with things like ChatGPT and Claude and all these AI programs that you could really set up your own brand voice and create your own virtual agents. You're just starting out, go to ChatGPT and look up how to have a virtual assistant that can help you for $20 a month. A real person, which I'm a person that loves a sounding board. Like Audrey was so helpful to have as a sounding board, just to be like, whoa, I've got 1,000 emails to write for this summit. And Email writing is not really my zone of genius. So for me, I would rather spend time making videos and crafting
Yes.
reels. I love stories through video, but emails are necessary and they're
Yes.
required. And they're the most important part of your business, to be honest, because if you have something to share, you need to email it. And email will always be the most powerful place to market. I will say that 1,000 times over. Get people to your email list, not just on Instagram, not just on LinkedIn, not just on the platforms. Drive them to your email list because your email list is always the most golden place to market.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, you'll hear that in any marketing. And people refuse this tip, but man, it's so true. It's so valuable. Emails take time to craft and blah, blah, blah. Again, using things like Claude or ChatGPT to just help you get started, but you put your heart and soul into it and then have it help you sculpt it and fine tune it. Audrey and I, worked really well through just running Google Docs. So if you are working with somebody, like you want to hand something off, you can hand that off in just a super scrappiest way is almost the best way every time. Google Drive, my favorite place in the world. And having a Google Doc that's just a shared document, you can put all your emails, all your email sequences in there. You can work directly with someone on really sculpting those, fine tuning them, and then plugging them into whatever platform you use. To answer your question, yes, if you're not living in your zone of genius and you find you're doing a ton of tasks and work that feels like, oh my gosh, this is so over my head, I really am a strong believer in owning your business and knowing how your business functions and knowing how to do the things. That's why in my personal coaching, I teach people how to do the things, how to do your website. I may make the website for you, but we're sharing Google Docs and you're writing in all of your descriptions about you. You're writing in all of your information. And I may go in and be the hands and the brain that knows how to do all the techie things that you feel overwhelmed by. And we come up with something together. It's a co-creative process. And then boom, you have a website that you hopefully love. And then we guide you. I do a whole year-long program with people where it's like we guide you on how to actually do the things through screen share. And I teach you how to update your website. So you're not handcuffed. Oh, if I need to edit an email or if I need to tweak a color or if I need to swap out a picture, you know how to do those basic things. I feel that's so important to know how to do the basics because it doesn't matter what platform you're using or what social media you're using. It's the same thing over and over again, just a different look and feel. Usually pushing the same buttons, you're usually doing the same thing, you'll start to get familiar with it. But knowing those basics is crucial because it really breaks my heart. And I've seen a lot of businesses that have somebody else do their website for them and they're handcuffed. And every time they want to edit a photo or edit something, now you're on their timeline also having to pay them a lot of money, make some simple edits. So know how to do simple things and sure, delegate and hand off the rest or have somebody help you do the heavy liftings. And if you don't know how to do the basics, it's a quick, if you like to read, it's a quick Google away. And if you prefer watching videos, it's a quick YouTube away.
I agree. Yes. With my clients, sometimes they prefer video. So I would make short Loom video, which includes the screens of walking them through what needs to be done, plus the transcripts, and they can go back over and over again. It's personalized.
It's beautiful. And you're teaching, you're showing, and everybody works so differently. I love running things past people too. I'll pull friends aside and be like, hey, does this make sense? My husband will tell me, he's my greatest person to run things by. And he loves just simple, black and white, just a paragraph. He's a reader. And for me, I'm very visual and I'll throw in graphics, all these things. And I've really had to learn how to slim down.
Yeah.
Wow, people really don't need a bunch of fancy bells and whistles. They like the simpler, the better.
Yes.
Sometimes you're like, wow, this is just too simple. And maybe that's the thing to put out there.
hmm Thank you for sharing. I want to hear more about your definition of non-romantic love and how that has guided you through learning and now providing different modalities to help people heal, like sound healing and Reiki and aerial yoga?
It's such a good question. Since you've invited me, I've been really thinking about that, the non-romantic love, and it comes in so many forms. Even with ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, our inner chatter that comes up, how kind and gentle. There's a book called Calling in the One by Catherine Woodward Thomas, and just one of my favorite books. And it's always my favorite mantra I say to myself often of what would love do? And what is
Mm.
love? If I'm stuck in a hard moment, what would love do?
Instead of what would Jesus do, you're saying what would love do.
Yeah, it's so helpful. There's this question in the book, what is love to you? And for me, love is compassion, kindness, peace, and it's gentleness. It's all the beautiful things, and it's being with whatever is with those qualities as well. If I'm in a fight with someone or in an argument, relationships, it's like siblings. There's this non-romantic love between siblings, friends, coworkers, between people you just meet that you just start to fall in love with their beautiful qualities, because we are just mirrors and representations of each other. Yes, I'm woo woo. I'll own it. We really are this one collective consciousness. Then what I like about you, I like about me. And what I hate about you, I hate about me. We really are just reflections of each other. I have a little disco ball that always hangs in my window. And I love this reminder of we are the disco ball, little mirrors just reflecting each other. And when we shine our lights, that's why I'm such a huge fan of people putting their light out and putting their gifts out and being in joy, because when we're in that space and our light is emanating out of us, which we all have, then we bring the party and we start to shine on each other. We're just all partying together and in many facets and in many ways. And we get to co-create and bring out our gifts. And when it comes to this idea of non-romantic love, any form of love, we bring out the best in each other. And when we do that, we have just so many miracles and so much magic. And we start to break the veil of this 3D form, and we can move into a world where all possibility is all around all the time. We get to show that to each other. Areas we get stuck, when then somebody comes along and is a sounding board for you, or being able to go to family members and have them push your buttons in just the right way to really become catalysts for you to change and to have to go within and have to recognize what in me is being rubbed wrong right now, what in me is wanting to change, and then having the courage to really look at that, shine a light of awareness, and zoom out. I love this in the medicine.
It's like a big picture.
Yeah, we zoom out like the eagle, and the eagle is our teacher. The eagle lives in the east and the stage of inspiration, and the eagle is able to zoom so far out and to see with its all-seeing eye what is really true and what is possible. All forms of love. And I think it really comes down to we create possibility with one another. And when we can help support each other through whatever we're experiencing, I think a huge part of love is celebration. Can we be in celebration? A friend and I we were talking about how right now, we're in this season, it's November, in the season of transition, there can be a lot of grief. There's a lot of letting go, and it's a cyclical pattern. I'm really into the medicine wheel for these teachings of the remembrance that we are a cycle, we're the spiral in and the spiral out. And when we can really remember that at the core of us is just love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Eckhart talks about it as well. He says when there's death is not the opposite of life, because even though there's physical death, life continues on in other forms. The physical body or form might start decomposing, but it becomes something else and feeds into other lives.
Every year, I do an honoring of the Day of the Dead ceremony, but it's kind of putting in my own twists of things I've learned and adapted. And it's my favorite event that I do. It's so beautiful. And it's work too. It's days of preparation. You're preparing this huge altar, and then I invite people from the community to come into the space, and we sit and have ceremony and we share stories. If you have photos, bring photos of the two-legged, the four-legged. So it's like there's pictures of pets that have passed, siblings or grandparents or just friends that have passed. And it's been so beautiful to get to hear people's stories of who they're bringing in and honoring for this beautiful ceremony. And then we put the pictures on the altar. You can bring in, food and treats that they really enjoyed. And it becomes this amazing celebration where we have like candies and food and there's beverages and drinks, and we pour drinks for those that are on the altar, share the ways that these people or animals have really come into our lives and shaped us and transformed us. And I think in death, how beautiful it is that we typically remember mainly the good. It's like forgiveness and love dissolves all things when you've gone. When we this shell, we're remembered in a beautiful light because it's truly what we are. It's so fun to take this concept of death that most of us are just so uncomfortable talking about, and how to really honor it and honor that this is the inevitable. We are all
Mm,
going to leave this shell of a form. It's why I think that you doing this podcast, thank you for having me on here. It's like you're
mm,
capturing a piece of my story, and you're capturing all these people's stories, and you're allowing us, while we're here in 3D, to be left behind in a digital world where maybe 20 years or 50 years, 100 years from now, our stories can live on, our energy can live on, our words of wisdom can be passed along. Something will touch someone that I'll never meet, and same
mm.
for you. That's magic, that's possibility to me, and it's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, I got physical goosebumps. Don't think you can see it on the camera.
I can feel
Yes. Thank
yeah,
you.
we can celebrate,
Yes.
and also know that, yes, when we die, which is inevitable, we still live on. And if we can celebrate each other and remember that we're living for each other, we're living for our ancestors that passed, we're living on in new ways, we're breaking patterns. But it makes me so happy to know that, for my grandparents that, maybe I never really knew, I get to connect with them now in new ways because I know that their energy is still here. Their
Mm,
energy is just shifted, it's just transformed. The energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can
yeah.
only move and transform.
How does that tie into the different modalities of therapies that you've learned and provide to other people? Maybe you use them to heal yourself as well.
I really love to learn. I'm like a learning junkie. I'm constantly a student, so I can be a teacher. Also, I love when I'm teaching and my students are teaching me. Like, we're constantly learning from each other, which I love. I've done many different modalities. I'm 40 years old now, so it's like I've been working since I was 15, and I often think about how fun it is, like all the different jobs I've had, being a hairdresser, working as a barista, working in a warehouse, learning all the technical side, designing websites. I've helped brothers with the music world since I was 15. I have two older brothers myself that are amazing musicians. So I've been in the music scene for a long time, and I've always been the girl in the background helping create the or selling the merch or helping them out with their logos and the design aspect. And that's my passion. And the way we can create art and touch lives through art and media is just beautiful. Right now, I just feel like it comes again and again, this amazing gift of hands that we have,
Yes.
things that I'm so blessed. And, not everyone is blessed with this. And just even to know, like, even if you don't have fingers or if you don't have hands, we have our hearts that get to amplify out our love, wants, desires, our hopes, and our dreams. So being able to use what you have, which is your breath, your constant, never ending flow. It's a never ending waterfall of well being washing over you, through you, within you. Just to be grateful that you're alive. While you are alive, what are you going to do with your heart? And if you are blessed to have hands, how are you using them to touch the lives physically, even, or sending energy out? I love on Zooms, people now are all like, hands like this, sending love. It's just emanating from your heart, through your arms, out through your hands. I do a lot of floating Reiki practices where people will get into the hammock. I have hammocks at my home studios.
Thank you for clarifying because
Yeah.
for a minute I thought it's in water because I do aquatic body work. Thank you for sharing it's in a hammock for aerial.
Yeah, so I was teaching aerial yoga, a little context. I was teaching aerial yoga for a long time. Then with COVID, we shut down. I transformed my garage into my own home studio. Now I have 5 hammocks hanging in that space. And I found that, I love aerial yoga and it's beautiful.
Me too.
Have you've done it? Yeah.
There's a studio near where I live now. For many years, I was terrified of falling out of it. I finally took the class, and the instructor were so kind. And she said, "Look, I've had 10 years experience. I've got you." She helped me to flip back, and then we did the angel wing. It was fantastic. And everyone in the class were so supportive throughout the class. We're like monkeys and flipping and laughing.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that right there, I love it. It's just so fun. It's just bringing joy into the world. I used to start off all my classes like that. And I'll still, if I teach a private session or something, when somebody's terrified, of course you're afraid. The number one thought is I'm going to fall. And I would always crack this joke. Welcome. I know you might be afraid that you're going to fall and crack your head open and there's blood everywhere, but here's the truth. That's very highly, highly unlikely. Honestly, you're more likely to hurt yourself in a regular yoga class than with aerial yoga. It's one of the safest modalities. And I love that you have this hammock, you have a support system for you to keep in the proper balance and the proper form at all times. And to be able to flip yourself upside down in a way that you would never be able to with such freedom and then freedom to play and freedom to
Yeah.
fly. I mean, we all want to be superheroes and fly. That's like humans' number one thing that we want is to feel the freedom of flight. So to have that, and especially for women, I have a lot of women that have been pretty heavy set that come to me, and it's just so magical to watch them just like, oh, this thing can't hold me, or I'm too this, I'm too that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Let's listen to all that mental chatter. And then what's really true? What's really true is you're here and I'm going to guide you and we're going to develop trust today. And I love
Mm.
that it's trust that you really develop. You learn trust in yourself. You learn trust in someone else. You learn trust in a hammock. And then you flip upside down and you just see everyone turn into a little 5-year-old like, oh my God, I'm doing this. And you suddenly witness in someone else the power of belief, the power of trust wash over them, and the power of joy and play.
And
And
it doesn't take many sessions. I could see the progress from the first to the second class. And it's not so much learning, it's almost like remembering on how to be a kid again, at least for me.
it's one of my favorite things because I took a kids training for it a couple years ago, and I thought, why am I doing this? Because I don't really like working with kids. I'm not a kid person, to be honest. I don't hate children. I'm going to clarify. I just don't really I'm really good with teens. I'm a really strong emotional support. I'm a Pisces. I got a Cancer moon. I'm here to hold some heavy stuff and to help transmute and transform that. That is definitely my purpose here. I love doing it in playful ways. I love doing it through modalities like aerial yoga or sound baths. It's just such a beautiful ability to get people to play and have fun and break some fears, transform those fears, and then trust in themselves again. That's just so important, just to build that trust in yourself. I did a sound bath last night for a beautiful group, and it was so nice to see how many people were like, wow, that's the first time I ever felt so held. The hand
Hmm.
holds you and cradles you, and you could just float and feel weightless and free, and you feel like you're just back to being a baby again. And you can really let go. I remember my first time being in this pose called womb and being like, whoa, I can cry in here and nobody can see me. I can really let myself go in here and not feel like somebody's gonna come there me or what's wrong or It's just your own little space to really move through whatever needs to be moved through. And it's just so beautiful. And the body does keep the scores. I love when people come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, is it normal to be crying in here? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. I
beautiful
cried
thing.
in restorative aerial yoga.
Yeah, because it really does bring our bodies back to when we were tender, sweet little babies, so full of innocence, and we get to go back there. What a beautiful thing to remember and to be held in that way. Also, I love now going and putting my hands on people's feet and doing some Reiki and really holding them. And in the hammocks, you can give them little shoulder massages,
Yes.
get playful with people. And I love doing that because I always set the intention and I'll do my Reiki symbols and I'll ask for my presence to just continue to hold them throughout our session. And
Mm,
every time it's just like magic when people come up and go, gosh, I feel like you didn't leave my feet, but I also know you left my feet.
yes.
It's like they really can still feel your presence. And it's so cool.
It's like your hologram was still there.
Yeah. Amazing.
How do you recharge? And also, what do you do to prepare before you hold space for others so you really get to this hollow bone stage where you can be present for them?
But thank you for asking that. So I have a few things that I've learned over the years that are really important for me. Uh, One, just blocking off time in my calendar a day before, a day after, letting people know, hey, I have an event. I'm not going to be available. I've had to learn this even with my clients and like auto emails that go out. Please know that it takes a lot to prepare the space and I'm not going to be on my phone. So making sure my auto emails express like the who, what, when, where, why. I even have a YouTube video on like how to get to the location. I try my best to hit all the details and emails for people so that way I can really step away and not be on my phone and trusting in my clients that they are more than capable of figuring things out. Um, as long as I've done my part. But also grounding, putting my feet in the grass. I'm so blessed that I do have the ability to get out into a backyard, but I've lived in condos many, many years. I would take myself to a park beforehand and just really take some time to be in nature, ground. If you don't have that capability, though, my number one hack, because I see so many times yogis and practitioners and energy workers, it's like when we're holding a container, it is crucial that you ground yourself. It sucks. And I've been to many events where I walk in and the practitioners outside smoking and they're in anxiety and I feel that. And it's like, whoa, are you you're gonna hold me? Is that happening today? When people arrive to your events, please welcome them. Please be grounded in yourself. And a really great hack, if you don't know, is to do like 2 fingers on your third eye and 2 fingers into your belly button, pushing in and pulling up and just really rooting yourself down, closing your eyes, and just taking a minimum 3 deep breaths. Maybe even setting your intention like, I am grounded in myself. I am a strong container, calling in support systems, calling in angels, guides, ancestors, all the support seen and unseen. And may I be a vessel for the highest healing of all. And then you can slowly pull your fingers away when you feel like I'm landed here in my body. And I also enjoy doing this zip up little energy medicine where you can start at your pubic bone and zip up like you're zipping up a human suit. Stopping
Okay.
below your bottom lip. And if you do that 3 times, zipping up, I like to say, I am me and only me. So I'm protecting my energy. I am me and only me. And then I'll even sometimes like go from the back of we call this the Mingman point, right? At basically your sacrum. And then I'll imagine zipping up and then pulling up and then locking in the key and throwing it.
Ah, okay.
It's like a really great way of zipping up your own energy because I know there's a lot of practitioners like, I'm afraid to hold space because I don't want to take in everybody's energy. Well, protect your energy first. So that hook up and the zip up, they're fast, they're simple to remember, and it's just a little way that you can set your intentions before you go into any session. And honestly, try it out before you go to the grocery store. I
Yes.
Before I go into Costco, like Costco so much anxiety, so I'll be in the parking lot, zip it up. I mean, I've got a little bubble around me. I'm
Yeah.
protected. I can do this. But yes, you are here to hold a container for people. So set the container and be the container. And it starts with you just getting grounded in yourself. And there's many grounding practices, but those two, the hook up and the zip up, I do those every single day. They're just my favorite ways of coming back home to myself. And of course, if you can get into nature, the greatest healer.
Yes. Is there anything exciting you're working on?
Ooh, yeah, my whole
You're
world.
thinking which one?
But I am really excited to start fusing together some aerial yoga with some sound included. It's been really fun to work with the Brothers Corin and sing the body electric and taking these modalities that are kind of what I've always been teaching, but in a new way. I love toning the chakra system and I love teaching the chakra system. And I'm really into mantras and using the power of our voice. So a lot more song circles are in my future. I'm really excited about working with a dear friend of mine, hopefully getting into some corporations and teaching this modality called soul collage with sound healing and meditation. I'm just pulling my energy back in on me. So I'm really excited to take a couple months of wind down time and to really reinvent what it is that I am ready to give in a more powerful way. So I think 2026 is going to be a whole new world. So I'm preparing for my next launch, which will be for my program that is my signature program called the Line Online Accelerator. It's a 90-day mentorship where it's a group program and we meet once a week and we dive into all the techie things that scare everyone and we learn how to fly. We learn how to move beyond those barriers. And I'm there to help support each person in teaching everything I know and I've learned. And I put it all in a beautiful online program that they can go back to whenever they need and get the tools and resources that they can use when they're ready for it. Like they're ready to hit content making time. There's documents to help support them. But yeah, I really love holding people's hands through the back end technical side. I honestly, what's so fun for me is watching people just like get lit up when they finally understand how to use Google.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's not as hard as I thought.
yeah, those are the exciting things. I've got my own program and also just lots more sound healing and flying with that world.
What type of sound healing do you do? Because I use Eileen's tuning forks. I saw on your website the tuning fork looks quite different. And then you have the sound bowls and the handpan.
I'm kind of an instrument junkie, of course.
Okay.
Any sound healer that starts to dive into the world of sound healing, you'll notice like instruments will slowly just start appearing into your life. I do have a very beautiful story with an instrument called the chakra overtone drum, and that is the drum that really propelled me on my journey with sound healing. The bowls came first because that was what I just kind of resonated towards, and I started just for myself. I got a throat chakra bowl to begin and a sacral chakra bowl to dive into my own healing. Then I just had this vision of it's time to just buy a whole set and start doing this for people while they're in Shavasana. I got a set of bowls, but I had this, it's called a tongue drum. It's a chakra overtone drum, and it was the first instrument I really bought for myself when I quit my job initially. I have a beautiful story, actually. I tell this story on another podcast with my friend. Really, it was the first instrument I just decided to get for me. And I had this vision of playing it with people floating in the hammocks. And that's what I do now. It's handcrafted in Israel. I became really close friends with the guy who makes them. And so now I have several of these drums. They look like this actually. This is the drum.
So is that handpan? No.
So this is called a chakra overtone drum
Okay.
because you just play games with yourself. You can play really soft, you can play really slow, you can go really fast. It's been so healing for me to just play these games with myself. It gets you to play. And it's called a tongue drum because they look like little tongues.
Okay.
I love this because I can play it around people. I can go underneath people with it because I have a couple of different ones. I love getting other people to play it. And it's amazing, especially with men, to witness where we are uncomfortable, even in our own voices. You get to notice in your body where you hold tension and where you can relax. It's amazing to witness somebody playing it, and we're just really soft spoken, so we don't really want to be too loud. And when you do allow yourself to just go wild on it, it's like this expression,
Yeah.
form of expressing yourself without words. And it's been really helpful even for me and my husband. I bought my second drum because I was really excited to play with him. And man, when we're angry, we can just like bang on it. It's not words, you can just talk through the drum. It's just this magical tool that supports emotional healing and physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all of it comes through just playing. It helps you get out of your stories. It helps you just let the stories go and come back to your essence, come back to what's really true. You just get to let things go, and it's so beautiful. That is like my favorite drum. And there's a minor, and I love every sound bath. I start with that. My husband will go around with this beautiful harp that goes along with it. But it's a 432 frequency, so it doesn't play super well with a lot of other instruments because it's 432. And this drum was actually tuned to the chakra system. So they did a lot of tests with a NASA physicist named Barbara Brennan. Each frequency is tuned to the exact center of the chakra system. And the tuning fork that I have is from a friend named Josh. He has a company called Earth Tuned. It's been so cool to watch him take off. I actually helped coach him for a little while, and he traded me his tuning fork for our coaching. That was kind of,
Nice.
and
That's
yeah,
one of my favorite is a different type of economy or currency.
yeah, we get to just go with what feels good and what feels like a win-win. So when kind of tying back to like your previous thing of like, do we hand things off or hire things out? It's like, find people that will help support you and see what's a win-win along the way. You can trade things, and sometimes people are open to trading things. And even Josh, when he was just a little baby starting out, who was like, he found me on Instagram.
Mm.
He was like, "Hey, I see you're doing sound healings in the Tacoma area. Can I come and show you some of my forks that I've made?" And I'm like, "Sure, dude, come on over." He comes with all these beautiful tuning forks and instruments that he has made. And I'm like, "Cool, why don't you do a sound bath with me?" We just
Yeah.
started partnering and doing events together. And he would come and show us forks, and then people would buy them. So there is this beautiful, like, win-win thing.
Collaboration and dance.
Yeah. And just helping each other help each other. It's just gorgeous.
Do you have a favorite type of client? In the perfect world, who would that be?
Someone who wants to actually learn and try for themselves. If you are not wanting to try for yourself and you want to just hand things off to someone to do, that's not me. I'm here for the people that are really wanting to help serve the world in a greater way, and that are ready to be coachable, to listen, to learn, to absorb, and to get out of the way of themselves. That is my kind of person that is willing to show up. Just show up. That's really all you
Mm.
have to do. If you are going to cancel a million times or not really show up, then no, we aren't really going to work together.
Yeah.
So someone willing to show up, someone willing to move beyond. I think you said it so beautifully earlier, even with what you're doing with this podcast. There's something greater than you. This isn't for you, even really. There's something greater that is pushing you. And I think that is what I want. Somebody that comes to me and knows, like, I'm here because there's something greater wanting to be birthed from me. And
Mm.
I don't know how. I don't know. I'm taking my hands off the wheel, but I'm willing to be guided. So let's go.
Do we have a bit of time to talk about Bali?
Sure.
Okay, so you recently came back from Bali. It sounds like it wasn't your first time there.
My first time there was in 2020. I went right when I was on top of the world. I had my aerial business running itself. I was able to like step away. I had people teaching my classes for me, and I was like, yeah, I figured it out, man. And then I went to Bali, and it was March, and it was right at the moment when COVID came and everything shut down. And I had just got on the plane, and everybody was telling me, like, you shouldn't be flying, da da da. And there was like a lot of fear of me getting stuck there and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever, man, trust. um, and I did. I had no plan when I went there. I just got my hotel. I went for this place called the Pyramids of Chi. Have you ever heard of
Okay.
this?
Mm-mm.
So Pyramids of Chi is a huge sound healing space. It's like these,
Is it in Ubud?
yeah,
Okay, then I haven't heard of it.
beautiful. Beautiful space, gorgeous, amazing, sound healer's dream. The first time I went, I got to go and I just every day went to Pyramids of Chi and hung out there and took some sound baths and ecstatic dance and cacao ceremonies. I met this beautiful couple, Marie and Martin, who do Akashic record reading, and I ended up staying in touch with a lot of these people, made some friends, and it was just a magical, heart-opening trip. That was 2020. And then my husband and I just decided it was our 10-year anniversary this last year. So we were talking about going to Greece, and then suddenly Bali got put on the table. And my husband's like, well, I've never been to Bali and that sounds cool to me. So let's go there. We really wanted to do more ceremonies together for our relationship, 10 years. There's a lot of
Congratulations.
marriage is not easy and there's a lot of things to let go. So we had a lot of things we wanted to really start new on in 10 years, like new beginnings. And so I'm grateful we went to Bali. There was a lot of magic, a lot of synchronicity. We were totally meant to be there. I always kind of ask for the number 2 or like a yellow butterfly. And so those are like my signs of you're on the right path. And everywhere there, I just saw 2, 2, 2, 2, and butterflies. So cool. And we did a beautiful one of the Melokot ceremonies. So we went to the waterfall and were guided through prayers at all these different little altars and getting to go to the waterfall and like screaming out the past 10 years and then going and like laughing and bringing in the joy. It's just a really beautiful process. So it was probably my favorite thing that we did. It was a great way of us just really cleansing and starting a fresh new start. And on the flip side, I had this joke with my husband where I really wish I was good at like making reels that capture here's the beautiful me at a waterfall with the flat hair. And then it's like on the other side of the camera, there's like this long ass line of people waiting. And, there's a million people there and everybody's all
And taking the same photo, same pose.
part of it. So
Okay. I didn't go to a lot of the tourist places because I didn't want to stand in line. So I don't have those shots.
yeah, it's really funny. It's like, okay, here, you go sit there, pray. Oh, it felt so inauthentic, so rushed. I hated the rushed feeling. Like I went to Bali to chill out, and it seemed like everywhere we went, they were like, in a rush. Even our driver always rushing us to do things. I had to really set a lot of boundaries with this guy. Like, yo, no, we're here to chill. I don't want to be rushed drinking my coffee and then you want me to get on the swing and do these things. No, no. We're here to slow down and I'm going to take my time. And if there's a problem, then I'll get a different driver.
Yeah, I can recommend one. A friend of mine recommended one.
Amazing. Yes.
It makes all the difference.
But it was beautiful. It was really nice. There is a lot in Bali. We went to the ocean one day and it just really, I live in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, we have a group. There's called Puget Sound Plungers. I'm so grateful for this group because it's like hundreds of people gather at the water every Sunday and they go into the water. No matter what season it is, we get in and you learn how to become friends with the cold. You learn to drop down, get to your vagus nerve. You have your moment of, I don't want to go, and you freak out. And then you get in, and then after a minute and a half, and then everybody's having splash parties and having fun. But we have clean water. Wow, how much we take for granted, because in Bali, when we went to some of the oceans, it was just like, I would not want to get in here. There's so much garbage and so much trash, and it's really eye-opening and kind of
heartbreaking.
so heartbreaking. And I know even in Hawaii it has some beaches like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some where we're so lucky for this beautiful ocean and the water that surrounds us. And wow, how eye-opening it is that the way that we are treating our waters. Something's got to change. And it's really good to travel to see the different perspectives. It's really important to travel so you can come home. I traveled because I really wanted to come home and have more gratitude. And I always am so much more grateful for what I have and the life I've created for myself. It's definitely got me feeling like very heart open and full of gratitude for what I have. I think we travel just to get our eyes to open up to what a different way of being is, and back to possibility. What's possible with what you want? What do you want to create in your life, and what's for you and what's not for you?
If you could choose to be an animal or a sentient form in nature for one day, who would it be and why?
The vision that comes to me right now is very interesting. I'm usually a bird when I get asked this question, but right now it's like an elephant is coming to me.
All right, big ears.
So different. I'm in this stage of really wanting to ground and to be fully present. And I feel like this elephant has kind of this grounded vibe, but also like this playfulness with their trunks. And
It's similar to aerial yoga in a sense.
yeah, so that is right now in this stage of life. Usually I'm a hummingbird, so I can go suck on sweetness anywhere in life, but I really am done with travel for a little while and I'm ready to like tamp down, ground down, and really create some solid foundations and to stay in that playful state wherever I'm at.
And it makes sense because they're engineers and they hold so much wisdom as well. Since you're going through this stage of reinventing yourself and remembering, to me, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll be thinking about the elephants today. My favorite part of these conversations is, do you have a question for me and the viewers to contemplate on?
I have so many, but I'm such a questioner. So I'll just kind of reflect back to you of your question. What is this non-romantic love for you and how has it really touched in your life?
I'll contemplate on that, and hopefully the listeners would think about it as well and live it out.
I guess in particular, since it's me, I think to get more just dialed in and specific is the contemplation of what is the love of your own brand? What is the love of your own ways that you show up in the digital world, in the market
Yeah.
world? What can you love in that space or even new boundaries you're going to create for yourself? Maybe that's around Instagram or maybe it's learning showing up in new ways. In particular, the non-romantic love that is this digital world that we're all going to have to learn how to love.
Mm,
I mean, AI and technology is here. We're in this really big stage of like people thinking that AI is their new lover, you know?
okay.
It's getting to some interesting worlds. So it's like
Yes.
show up loving ourselves in the way that we show up in the world, but
And
also
not get lost in it.
yes.
Where can people connect with you?
Sillywellness.com, silly with a C. So my name's Priscilla. Silly is my nickname. CILLY wellness.com. That is where all the things can be found. If you are an Instagram person or daring to be there,
I'll follow you.
just come follow me at Silly Wellness, silly with a C. That's where I hang out most for sure.
Thank you so much, Priscilla, for your time and sharing and bringing so much joy and playfulness into my day.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Aloha.